What a thunderous beginning to our King Series 12 card, guys. First round knockout, head kick. Here we are in the second bout of the night, and this is our first and only, no, excuse me, I was gonna say one of the only fights to not feature a Chinese fighter. You know, in recent years, particularly in the last 2 years, JCK has really expanded its roster to include a lot of international talent from all over the world. And my goodness, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Keoni, Terorotua. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Terorotua.
Right.
Actually, Terorotua.
Terorotua.
Yeah, I practiced the name quite a bit in the room with him. So yeah, Keoni Terorotua.
Okay,
he trains with
City Kickboxing.
That's right.
And here's a random fact for you. He is the first fighter from French Polynesia in JCK history.
And the guy in his corner is actually a French fighter as well.
Really?
From France. Yep.
But he primarily trains out of City Kickboxing, right?
Yes, he trains. No, that's his gym. So
So
he lives in New Zealand and trains at City Kickboxing.
He's had 4 pro fights and an amateur career that actually dates all the way back to 2017.
Yeah,
he fought amateur for many years before he turned pro.
So I spoke to Brody, who was the coach for Brody. There's 2 Brodys, right?
Yeah.
Last week Brody fought, and he said
mugging the camera.
He said this guy's really, really well-rounded. And I asked Terorotua, what's your prediction? He's like, finish for sure. I was like, so is it going to be on the ground or on the feet? He's like, no, man, I wherever the fight goes, I'm happy to go wherever it goes. Of course, he's fighting another Mongolian.
Odsuren Shagdar.
Yes.
Is he from the same team as Nandamayar?
No, he's in the same team as Ermun, and that is something I actually want to talk about. You see there on the left, that's his coach, Odsuren. And Odsuren Shagdar. Shagdar is his family name. It's actually his father's name. They don't really have surnames in Mongolia. So his dad's name is Shagdar, and his name is Odsuren. And Odsuren is, he is he has a job. He has a day job. And I believe he works for the military or something. The translator, Amu there, who's the jiu-jitsu coach, also from Mongolia. He's from Inner Mongolia. Amu, one of the first, I think it was the 11th black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt in China. Like, he's literally number 11 who got his black belt. You see him there on the right out of the screen there. But more importantly, we see this, the old man in the picture. This is the coach of Odsuren, and he's also the coach of Ermun. Ermun fought 2 weeks ago and had a bit of a dud performance. And we asked them, hey, for some feedback, and they said that the coach wasn't here. We felt like there was some underperformance. This guy has a day job. Believe, if I remember right, it's for the military. More importantly, he's 34 years old, and he's an absolute, it's about his passion. His background is Mongolian wrestling, and then he transitioned into boxing. So check out for his wrestling defense and his hands. I haven't seen any of his fights. That's just the information I have.
So he's 5-1 overall. He had a bit of an inactive streak from, I believe, 2019 to 2024.
Yeah, but I think that because of career, right?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes,
but still, I mean, that does affect your career trajectory, right?
But I'm predicting he's gonna fight pretty aggressive, because every time the head coach comes to JCK, this team has good performances.
Yeah, so like he started his career 5-0, and he lost his last fight to an undefeated guy who was also 5-0 via rear naked choke in the 3rd round. Prior to that, he was perfect. He's 5-1 in his pro career. He does have more pro fights than Keoni, but as I said, Keoni has an amateur career that goes way back. I'm really intrigued by this matchup, to be honest. It should be a great fight.
Welcome, Odsuren, to the JCK cage. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape, and I think you've got to notice the age difference here. 28 going to 35. And everything else is very similar. A slight reach advantage, height advantage going to Odsuren.
本场 JCKMMA King Series 雏量级的复赛交锋，蓝方选手身高168公分，臂展175厘米，体重61.10公斤，年龄28岁，来自于 City Kickboxing 著名的城市踢拳俱乐部 ，MMA 综合格斗战绩2战全胜。那么今天晚上上 JCK 战绝城的首秀 ，Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the blue corner from Polynesia. Gets ready for Keoni Terorotua. 本场比赛，红方选手身高170公分，臂展175厘米，体重61.50公斤，年龄35岁，来自于 One Team MMA 综合格斗战绩6战5胜1负。那么今天晚上同样是他的 JCK 战绝城的首秀。Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Red Corner from Mongolia. I give you the Mongolia Eagle, Odsuren Shagdar. The referee who charged in this octagon is Mr. Hu Jingtao.
All set for this bantamweight tilt. It is Keoni, Terorotua in the blue versus Odsuren Shagdar in the red.
And I was practicing Odsuren's name is Odsuren.
Odsuren. I learned a Mongolian word on the last card. Za.
Odsuren.
Za. It means like, okay, all right. So
Lot
here we
of-
go.
look at those.
Bantamweight fight, and
Tons of fakes already from Terorotua, and we know City Kickboxing, they love to. So many fakes, shows and tells, trying to get some reactions out of their opponents.
and
Odsuren very calm.
switching stances back and forth early is Keoni, giving his opponent different looks.
Feeling out, trying to get that distance, goes with a kick. Obviously, if you're a southpaw, like Terorotua is in this position, that round kick, the back leg, is going to dig into the liver.
All of the Mongolian fighters we've seen in JCK thus far have been so tough. And of course, last week we saw Namnan Bayar walk away with the 1 million RMB prize.
Making history, being the first foreigner to win the $1 million RMB tournament money.
Yeah, that's big. Of course, later tonight we have the 1 million RMB tournament finals in both the welterweight and flyweight divisions. Oh,
Odsuren,
marching forward with a strong combination is Odsuren.
look at Odsuren, yeah, some showmanship there. These guys starting to throw down. Bit of a slow start the first minute, but now these guys letting their hands go.
Keoni is still 28 years old. He's still in the prime of his career. Odsuren is 35, probably on the back end of his career. And you know, in these lighter weight classes, older fighters tend to slow down a little bit.
I'll tell that to Shang Fan.
Hey, there you go. But he's an outlier, though.
Absolutely,
Right? Like, how often do you
absolutely.
see a guy who's 40 years old
And still,
still competing at the top level of a lighter weight class like flyweight, right?
Odsuren landed a nice step through hook there.
Keoni's got some
but
hard
yeah,
leg kicks.
yeah, Terorotua is doing really good with those chopping low kicks so fast. And it felt like Odsuren was not enjoying that heavy calf kick as we speak about that.
Yeah, he fires back with a calf kick of his own.
Goes to the head. Both these guys having their hands up, nothing landing clean when the kicks were going to the head so far. Of course, we just saw a head kick being the beginning of the end in the previous side.
Oh, hard right hand by Keoni.
But he just, look at Odsuren, he just eats it. Now Keoni is on top. Took Odsuren down, but Odsuren pretty scrappy. Works his ways to, he's going to try to get his legs underneath him. Can he?
Let's see the grappling chops here of both men. Good scramble back to our feet.
Terorotua looking for the knee on the exit of Odsuren standing up.
Charging
Nice.
forward with
Nice
the
short
takedown
hooks
attempt.
there. Look, Odsuren
Guillotine
going for a
attempt.
guillotine. Is that a? No, it doesn't look like it's on.
He's still attacking the neck. I can't really see what his grip is like. It looks like he doesn't even have his hands connected.
Yes. I mean, he might have, look, for a moment I thought he was going to go for a ninja choke. But, yeah, this doesn't look, is it an arm in guillotine attempt?
Yeah.
Feels like it's pretty loose. I don't think Terorotua is any danger right here.
Really
at this
difficult to
moment.
pull off from this sort of position. And now
Passes the
Keoni
guard.
has passed the guard against the fence. He's in side control here.
And look how he's shelved those legs. Beautiful work here. Going to a nice leg drag position.
Let's see if he can posture up and do some damage.
Oh,
Nice shot
really
to the
good
body. And
control from Terorotua.
looking to take the back here is Terorotua.
He's also, look at how he grapevines the heels first, right on the ankles.
He's got one hook.
And now he's
lost
getting
it.
to working for a hook. But Odsuren quite aware of those hooks, staying vigilant and not giving them.
These shots are
big
scoring
shots.
big here.
I mean, he's covering up, but those are some big shots, yes.
Those were hard left hands.
And Odsuren started his career with Mongolian wrestling, but I feel like this cage wrestling and just pure MMA wrestling, Terorotua seems to have the significant advantage.
Bless you, sir.
Excuse me.
Here we have Keoni working.
The referee breaks him up, not allowing for any inactivity.
10 seconds left in the first round. You know,
the referee himself is a black belt.
Yes. I'd like to roll with him. Maybe he can come down and train next time.
Yeah, you haven't trained with him? We've trained with him before.
That'll do it for the first round, folks. Keoni Terorotua looked really good in the latter half of the first round. I think he probably took that one, Woody.
I agree with you. He definitely controlled. On the feet, I think it was very close, but he definitely controlled more. Got the takedown.
À chaque fois que tu restes actif avec ton jab, il a des réactions. Quand il a des réactions,
MMA fighter.
Let's take a look at some of the action. There was a hard kick to the body by Keoni here. Both guys swanging and banging in the center of the cage.
Look at this. Boom.
Big right now. I felt like that landed more on the chest.
Yes.
Keoni looking to take him down here.
Finally gets a takedown, but Odsuren really good to kind of build up. However, very defensive in his wrestling. Couldn't really break the space and get rid of Terorotua. And Terorotua was riding and surfing on him for most of that first round.
Probably a solid 10-9 round for the city kickboxing fighter.
Terorotua
All set.
looking very, very focused going into the second round.
All set for round two here, guys. Keoni Terorotua is in the blue. Odsuren Shagdar is in the red.
Wow, lead kick to the head. That was really quick from Terorotua. Now working the body, switches stances again. You can imagine these guys will have really good striking with all the top guys they get to train with.
Oh! Spinning elbow, and that landed too.
Yeah, beautiful spinning elbow, but Terorotua just is he a little bit wobbled?
I don't think so.
Look at this, he's putting on the pressure on Odsuren. Odsuren throwing wild punches. Now it's Odsuren on the back.
Odsuren takes the back standing. Let's see what he can do with it.
Dumps him down.
Let's see if he can put his hooks in.
Holding
We see
the body.
Keoni going for a Kimura here, but that's kind of allowed Odsuren to advance his position a little bit.
Yeah. Now Terorotua is really good at turning
Scrambles.
the corner, yes. And he's on the single leg of Odsuren. Odsuren holding the body, like the body and the legs connecting there. Maybe hoping that the referee will stand him up again. A little bit of a wrestling stalemate right here.
Keoni did very well to scramble up after having his back taken stand in there. Bit of a stalemate here against the cage. Neither man really able to assert dominance. Odsuren trying to sprawl that leg back,
Yeah, if he
break
sprawls
down
that
the
legs,
posture.
then he can start.
There we go.
Yes, he can start turning to the back. But Terorotua doing good, holding onto that leg.
This has been a much better
Round
for Odsuren so far.
Bit of a stalemate here. I'm surprised the referee hasn't
Yeah, JCK refs are usually very on top of the action
pushing the action.
and pretty quick to warn fighters to advance position.
Or at least
And have been
stand
known-
them up if they're on the ground. I don't think they've threatened them with warnings if it's just on the ground. They normally just stand them up. But of course, JCK has the yellow card rule. They'll give them warnings for inactivity, and if they don't change, they get a yellow card, which deducts 50% of their purse.
Extremely rare, though.
And then if we've never had it.
I've never seen it happen.
But in theory, it's an awesome rule, man. It means you can't come in here and just run around.
JCK is super strict about rules, guys. So we were supposed to have the finals of the featherweight tournament. One of the fighters, Narutai, missed weight by 0.7 kilos, and they scrapped the whole thing, gave the $1 million to his opponent, and they're going to fine him too.
50% of his next purse.
50% of his next purse?
Yep.
Fine.
Yep.
That is, that's a rough one.
Odsuren doing really good. Now it's Odsuren on the hips, having that gut wrench, holding.
You see Keoni attacking that arm lock
Oh,
again.
there we go. He
might
might
a little closer this time.
He'll use this.
Oh, he uses it. He's going to try to use it to sweep.
He's going to try
He's got it from the bottom of side control. Let's see if he can use it to turn his opponent over. It's going to be really tough to finish from this position.
As long as Odsuren keeps his arm nice and stiff, it'll be very hard because of the angle for Terorotua. Terorotua needs to get his body out further and see if he can get a leg over the head of Odsuren. But very hard for him to, because it doesn't have power from this position.
If he had at least half guard, he would have a much better shot of doing something with this. There's also like an armbar counter that Odsuren can hit. It's going to be tough with the cage, though. However, he is using this to at least not take any damage, because Odsuren's arm is all tied up here.
Yes.
Much better round for the Mongolian fighter. If he can bring his knee down and push down on the elbow of Keoni, he could probably rip that arm out. See his right knee?
Yeah, but I think Keoni let the Kimura go just so he can start standing up again. 30 seconds. And very likely this is a one round apiece.
Yeah, I think so. If the round continues in this fashion, it will probably be 1-1 going into the third. And
nice little short elbows from Terorotua.
Close fight on our hands here, folks. Mongolia versus
Odsuren, just showcasing his wrestling.
Would you call it Mongolia versus New Zealand or Mongolia versus French Polynesia?
Oh, good question. You could say French New Zealander. Because he still represents French Polynesian, but he's
fighting out in New Zealand.
Yeah, his team is fighting out of New Zealand, right? So
JCK.
Garçon, t'as de l'eau quand tu le souhaites. Regarde-moi. C'est 1-1. Okay, t'as gagné le premier round.
Park in China, thrilled to be here with you on the broadcast. Let's take a look at some of the action from the second round. There's a beautiful spinning elbow by Odsuren.
That was really, really nicely done. Unpredictable. He set it up very nicely.
Way better round for Odsuren here. I think he clearly won that round, and it's most likely 1-1 going into the third. You know, that was a submission attempt by Keoni, but he never really had enough control over Odsuren's body to make it much of a threat. All set for round 3. This is going to be the deciding round in this bantamweight tilt, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready? Fight!
Third and final round between Keoni, Terorotua, and Odsuren Shagdar, in the red.
Straight punches from both these guys. Oh, nice counters. The hands low from Odsuren. We saw Namnabar drop devastating power last week from similar low hand position. But Terorotua having his hands nice up high. Oh, step through elbow.
That was beautiful. And a
big
hard
kick
body
to
kick
the body.
as well. Keoni still marching forward, though. Odsuren looks very loose on the feet. It looks like he's found his rhythm.
Oh, nice. Does the Superman.
Maybe the first round, it took him a while to warm up. And now here he is in the third, looking great. Second round was great as well.
Crescent kick. Man, he's showcasing a little bit right now.
Yeah, see, like his whole stance, his posture, his entire demeanor is totally different. Like, I feel like he's fighting much more confidently now. He's got to defend his takedown.
It feels like Terorotua is a bit gassed, buddy.
You know,
he like looks,
I watched some tape on him, and I did notice in a couple of fights, his pace did tend to slow a little bit in the third round.
Look at that. Odsuren going for that inside heel low kick. You know, I don't even know what it's called. Like you do a low kick, but you turn your heel in and chop with your heel to the thigh. He
Bit
did
of
that
a-
a bit earlier. That's pretty slick.
Oh, hard
nice
body kick.
from
That was
Terorotua.
great.
But,
Slapping off the body of
Otsura-
Odsuren.
Odsuren immediately counters, sticks and moves, knee through the middle.
Step in knee to the body. Keoni shakes that one off. Look at these interesting strikes that Odsuren is throwing. Keoni is marching forward constantly, though.
A lot of pressure from Terorotua.
In on the takedown here. Odsuren attacking the neck. Is he going to go for the guillotine?
Feels like he's attempting, but is that? Don't know if that is.
Nah, tough to land it from here.
And now we see Terorotua
Trying to mount him.
stepping over, trying to trap those legs. Oh, he's
Odsuren gives up the back here in an attempt to stand up. He's able to do so. This could be a pivotal moment in the fight. I
and
mean,
exactly halfway through this third and final round.
yeah, it could be one round apiece, and whoever takes this round is likely going to win the fight.
On my scorecard, that's exactly what. If I was in the corner, I'll be shouting to my fighter frantically to do something dominant. Leave it all out there, man. It sucks if you know you could have done just a little bit more.
I mean, a lot of times a really close fight like this can come down to one exchange, one little mistake that you make. You allow your opponent to gain a little bit of ground on you, and that could be the entire fight.
And there we see Terorotua grapevining that leg. He's got one hook in. Had a grapevine for a moment there. Both these guys breathing heavy.
A little over a minute and a half left to go in this one. Referee calling for action. Odsuren trying to get back to his feet here. Keoni stuck to him.
They're very heavy on the hips here. Terorotua just putting so much weight and pressure on him, making it hard for Odsuren to get up, just dragging him
I
down.
mean, I'm sure he feels that if he can control this position, maintain control for enough of this round, he might win this round and
But
end the fight.
I don't agree because
That's the way-
JCK
I
has
know.
shown that it's about damage, and in the first half of this final round, I feel like Odsuren he was landing more on the feet. This controls is not really doing any damage, just controlling him.
You know, the way JCK has their scoring criteria, you're right, Woody, they do favor damage
Absolutely.
well over grappling control.
Odsuren trying for a
You know,
big
the
roll.
most infamous example of that was the Alisson Barboza versus Sigilahu fight.
That's right.
Where Sigilahu cracked him with one big right hand and then got his back taken and was controlled for the rest of the round.
Yeah, almost 3 minutes.
Almost-
Actually, no, more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, and they gave the round to Sigilahu.
Yeah, because he did more damage early in that
Basically because of that one big punch.
round. Yeah.
10 seconds left. And Odsuren taunting a little bit here. Who's going to take this one? This could be a very close one on the judges' scorecards, Woody.
I think Odsuren, but I don't know. Let's see. I always get it wrong. So let's see what the judges will say about this one.
Very competitive matchup. These guys were matched up very well. Coming into this one, Odsuren 5-1, Keoni 2-2. Both guys showing well-rounded skills, solid striking, creative strikes thrown by Odsuren, spinning
Yeah,
attacks,
he did beautiful, tricky shots. It was awesome.
lead elbows. These were some big left hands at the end of the first round. I thought Keoni won the first round easily. That was easily a 10-9 for him. That was a beautiful spinning elbow. There just wasn't really a lot of power on it.
And this is the second round where Odsuren he did really good in the second round through a whole bunch of different attacks.
Yeah, second round I gave to Odsuren.
And
then the third round, this one is the mystery round. I don't know who to give it to because I feel like Odsuren probably did a little better on the feet in the first half of the round, but Keoni had the control and out-grappled him in the latter half of the round. So we'll see how the judges have this one, guys.
接下来宣布比赛结果：1号裁判29比28 ，Judge Number 1 29 to 28。2号裁判29比28 ，Judge Number 2 29 to 28。3号裁判29比28 ，Judge Number 3 29 to 28。本场比赛3位裁判一致性判定。红方上。For the winner, by unanimous decision, win by point, representing Mongolia, the Mongolia Eagle, Odsuren Shagdar.